Afternoon, folks. Early afternoon, slightly earlier than we normally do. Think I'll just change my phone. Actually, there we go. That's better. There we go. Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome back to the View for the review, I suppose, of the Oxford game. But we're also going to look ahead to the preview for the Stoke game on Monday night, as we are in that really busy period. As Danny Winter says right there down below, one step closer after last night. So we really appreciate that. And Leeds are going up. Yeah, we're going to stay here and don't you know, bump it up any minute now. It's getting close. We're getting there, but I'm delighted to be joined as always by Andrew Stats Dalton to have a chat about this game. We're close to it. It was a great day for the fans, and we're getting closer and closer to a return to the Premier League, and we should hopefully be able to enjoy the last couple of games. Should Monday hopefully go the way we all want it to go. But first things first, let's check in with Stats. How are you doing, mate? How are you?
Yeah, very well. It's been quite unbelievably turnaround, hasn't it? I remember talking to you after the Luton game, a couple of weeks ago, and on Grand National Saturday, and we all thought Leeds had fallen at the final hurdle, and all of a sudden you switch it round 2-3 weeks and 3 games, and they go to Middlesbrough and produce a very impressive defensive performance at Middlesbrough to win 1-0. They then host a very tricky game against Preston North End at Ellen Road, where the atmosphere is completely off the charts when Plymouth scored twice against Sheffield United to win that game, and then Easter Monday, Good Friday turned into a very good Friday. Okay, Burnley did their job, Sheffield United did their job. But then lo and behold, Leeds do their job, and all of a sudden they're on the verge of, after 2 years out, returning to the promised land of the Premier League. I think they will finish the job off. I think it'll be done on Monday, because I do think Burnley will beat Sheffield United and Leeds will beat Stoke. But yeah, it's all very positive, and I'm sure the groundwork would have started for Leeds to hold their own in the Premier League, which is a discussion for another day. But yeah, very much enjoying it, and 3 games left, and we're almost there, we're almost over the hill and into the promised land of the Premiership football next season.
Yeah, and as you say, there's things to discuss about next year,
Yes.
but that's probably very much left to be in its own thing when we get to that stage
Yes.
and we can talk about it in more detail. Let's enjoy the now while we can, and let's just, who's putting the champagne on ice? I heard lots of throats being cleared last night and warbling
Yes.
in the distance. I could just hear
Absolutely.
the songs beginning to be sung. So yeah, absolutely, and yeah, everyone's talking about Joe Rodon's performance last night. Thought he was absolutely immense last night, and our best winger as well as he took off past Dan James down the right hand side at one
Did.
stage, which was brilliant to see as well. And Solomon coming into form at the right time. Yeah, and I've been pretty critical of Solomon the last couple of games outside of the last one and this one. I just expect to see more from him because of the kind of caliber of player he's supposed to be and the value that he carries as well. That 25 million pound price tag, we all hold Brendan Aronson to a very high account because of that price tag that he came in with, and I kind of hold Manor Solomon to that as well. So I expect to see better from him in games. In the last 2 games, he's been absolutely fantastic for Leeds. He's finding that form, as has been said, at exactly the right time. But it's not just him. There are certain players coming into form, but we are still probably carrying a couple from their good spells. I think Joel Piro's been off the boil. Poor enough match last night. Ball wasn't sticking. But there's enough good stuff around the rest of the team to be able to do that effectively, and I suppose get away with it to a degree. A 1-0 win away to Oxford, normally you say that's not a great result in terms of you just scraped over the line against the side down there at the bottom. But at this time of the year, stats form goes out the window. Who you are goes out the window. It's all down to nerve and bottle at this stage, and Leeds are showing at the moment that they've got enough character and bottle to get it over the line this year. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and I think you go through a season where you're going to have peaks and troughs throughout the season, and we've been, us and Burnley, we've lost 6 games between us, which is absolutely quite incredible. That Burnley, I did watch Burnley yesterday against Watford, and I thought they were very, very good.
Yeah.
Okay, the red cards probably helped Burnley. Yes, there was 2 stupid red cards for the
Oh,
Hornets, but
ridiculous.
you've got to be consistent in the Championship, and to be where we are in the Championship is quite. It's quite incredible that you've lost 4 games. We've won what 20? I think I was working out 26 games
Mm.
this season. If we win the next 3, we break another record. We've scored the most goals. We've conceded the least goals. And yeah, I always maintain that you deserve to finish where you deserve to finish, and Leeds are top of the league on 91 points. They potentially could get a century of points, which has never been done in the club's history. Victory over
Mm.
Stoke on Monday will take them to 94 points, which is another record. So yeah, you've got Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, just seeing that now. Aaron has just been sacked at Cardiff City. I'm shocked because he called his supporters
Yeah,
clueless. I think once you
you
do that,
did.
and you lose the fan base. You got by the by. But yeah, look, just going back to Leeds, it's been an incredible, consistent season. Yes, we've had 4 defeats, and if you look at all 4 defeats, they've all been by 1-0. We've not been hammered at all. Okay, the games we lost by more than goal in the cup games.
I'll come back to that.
Middlesbrough when back in August when there was a little bit of disarray with Jorginho leaving the club. And obviously mix and match squadding again against Millwall, but we were never going to win the League Cup or the FA Cup. So, and I remember tweeting after the Millwall game, it's all about league, and I was confident then that we'd go on and win promotion, and it looks like that we will go on and win promotion now. And yeah, it's been a brilliant season. It does feel different to the 1920 season. I don't think you can kind of compare the 2 seasons. No. I think Furfart to get 90 points twice is absolutely ridiculous, and he deserves all the credit he can get. And potentially he'll go on and win Manager of the Year should Leeds end up winning promotion of the title. And yeah, it's just been a wonderful season. It's been a very enjoyable season. Okay, the football's not always been easy on the eye, but it's about getting results, and you can't argue with the results. And top of the league, 91 points, 90 points in double quick time, quicker than the Bielsa team that did it quicker than last season as well. So yeah, it's all very positivity, and I just kind of wished back in August when I came on the show against Portsmouth, I said we'll go up as champions. I still maintain that. I think now we'll just got to go out and finish the job, and I think on Monday we'll go out and beat Stoke City. We're almost safe. I think Morrisons has come in and done a really good job at the Bet365, but it's all about Leeds. And yeah, I can't say any further. It's been positive. Players are in form, players are out of form, but at this stage of the season, it's about the collective. Manos Solomon's come into form brilliantly. Joe Rodon, probably my player of the season. I think it's been absolutely magnificent. And to keep 23 clean sheets in 43 games is over half. He's absolutely wonderful. And it's
the best defensive record in the league, second to only Burnley, who've had a phenomenal defensive season.
Absolutely, and James Trafford's been part of that. But yeah, I can't speak highly of the job that Farke's done, and as we rightly say, the test will be next season in the Premier League, but that's for another day, and that's for the summer, and for the likes of Adam Underwood to look at and the recruitment side of things. But yeah brilliant. It's great. I've got a huge smile on my face, and it's great to wake up and turn it all around from coming out of that Luton game. It was all doom and gloom, thinking, we've blown it, I'll see you in the playoffs, even Swansea as well. And all of a sudden we've gone on a 3-match winning run. Scored against Middlesbrough, scored 1 against Middlesbrough, 2 against Preston, 1 last night, conceded 1 goal, and lo and behold, we're on the verge of returning to Premier League football next season, and it's great. And yeah, it's going to be tough if we do get there. And I'm not saying it's done, because it's not. But yeah, it's just getting over the line now, and 3 games left, and it'll be wonderful to get to 100 points, because I've never seen my team ever get to 100 points, and I've never seen my team to get 94 points. So yeah, it's great, and let's enjoy it. Let's have these opportunities, and I've used that word quite a lot over the season. We've got 2 home games left. The home form's been brilliant. Only Burnley have come to Bogle and Rodon and won. It's probably the best home form since 92-3. We lost 1 game that season. So yeah, it's positive, it's great. There's a camaraderie there within the squad. The players are playing for each other. And let's go and finish the job off. And I think we will do. And I think there'll be a party around Leeds come what may.
Yeah, I will be at the Bristol City game. Massive thanks to John Foxy for helping me out with tickets. So I will be at the Bristol City game. Yeah, I'll be over your side of the park this time as well, Stats. I'll be able to come and chat with you.
I shall come and see
you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Real quick one, Shane Dalton, Josh McDermott from Navan looking to grab a hoodie for your birthday. Shane, I already have it. It's in my house downstairs waiting for you. I said, I know Josh quite well. I coached Josh in Navan for a period of time as well. Good footballer, Josh. Nice guy. Really, really good guy. So yeah, he's dating his daughter. So that's nice to hear as well. I was wondering where the connection was there. But yeah, I was actually only talking to Josh last week. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really, really good stuff. You talked about the points total there. Leeds have crossed 91 points. We put down the 90 points trophy from last season, and we pick up the 91 point trophy, which is a little bit bigger. And we just wait to try and get over the line. The 100 points would need Leeds to win the remaining 3 games. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, and we'll go through what all the sides have to do. But we've got a game to talk about as well. If you could smash the like button, that would be fantastic. I don't really ask that often to do it, but it does actually help the video get out to more people. So I'd really, really appreciate that, especially the weekend that we have. So if you could do that, that would be awesome. We're going to go through a few bits and pieces today. We're going to have a look at the game in a bit more detail than we normally do. So we'll have a look at the momentum graph. And The reason this is there is Gary Rowett believes, in his comments after the game, he believes that they made life hard for Leeds United in the game and that they were excellent in the second half. Little unlucky not to get something out of it. Now, I wouldn't describe Oxford's football as champagne football. It was a bit of a throwback to the 90s of get it in the kitchen as quick as you can and big long balls into the penalty area. But you can see by the momentum graph for the bulk of that game, by that little edgy period that we like to do in every single game towards the end with a 1-goal lead. Outside of that, it's pretty much dominated by Leeds. And I think, and it has been said on X this morning by people as well, when you watch that game back, it's a lot more comfortable than you realise it was when you're watching it live.
Yeah, and I spoke to a couple of pals after the game. I never felt nervous, and I put on X that I was quite calm. And I did feel calm because it felt like Leeds were always in control. And apart from the last couple of minutes when they started throwing long balls forward, did Oxford, I didn't really feel nervous. Again, I know they had the chance in the first 5 minutes or so when Caldalo got down well. But other than that, I don't really remember Oxford having too many opportunities on the Leeds goal. And it did feel quite comfortable for a 1-0 win. It wasn't a bit like the Middlesbrough game where they were throwing everything at it in the last 10 minutes, including the kitchen sink. So yeah, I thought Leeds deserved the victory. I think Gary Rowett's done an absolutely brilliant job for coming in, from taking it from Des Buckingham at Oxford, and it looks like they may just stay up. They've got a massive game against Cardiff City on Easter Monday. But yeah, 1-0's never comfortable, is it? You're always at the back of your mind, and it's every football fan gets those last 2 or 3 minutes, you think you're going to concede and what have you. But yeah, I thought they saw the game out. I thought the game management was absolutely brilliant, and it has been majority of the season. So yeah, I think Leeds fully deserve the victory and on the go, and they've got one last away trip, the longest trip away from home against the Plymouth side, who I thought were harshly dealt with a penalty against Middlesbrough yesterday. So yeah, it all goes well, and game management this time, I think having Ethan Ampadu back in has made a huge difference, and I think he's a really good leader as well. And obviously he could join a really impressive club of players who've lifted a championship trophy for Leeds down the years, including Billy Bremner, Gordon Strachan, and Liam Cooper, so to name but 3. But yeah, hey, I personally, I thought Leeds deserved a victory, and I thought that they saw it out quite comfortably in the end.
Yeah, for the stick that the recruitment team have gotten over the course of the year, I left this on screen. I think if you look back at this now, Joe Rodon, Jaden Bogle, Outsnack, Hannah Solomon, excellent. Yeah. Since they've come in, so they've got it really right. We'll talk about Rodon and Bogle a bit more in a few minutes' time, because I want to talk about a couple of bits that they've put in this season as well, and just a little bit of something to look forward to next season as well. But as people are saying, Carl Darlow's made a big difference in goal, just catching the ball and hitting the ground and just taking the sting out of the game and settling everyone down. And he was unlucky. He could have had an assist at one point. Nanto was down holding his face, and Darlow caught the ball and went first time out to the left-hand side to Manor Salmon. It was true, and the referee blew the whistle and brought the game back. And frustrating then for literally nothing to be wrong with Willie as well, which was a pain. But he has made a difference since he's gone in there. Stats in terms of looking at the actual statistics for the game: 67% possession to Leeds with an XG of close to 2, 1.8. 0.4 for Oxford. Big chances 2. We scored one of them. Probably should have scored both. Brendan had a really good chance to score. I think he tries to be too conservative with the inside of the foot and pass into the net, where I think if he puts his laces through it, he probably scores. But he's probably thinking of the chances he had earlier on this year where he has trashed at them and put them over the crossbar. He's trying to keep it down, and yeah, tricky one, but still a good opportunity. 11 shots to 9, 2 saved by Darrell to 3 from them. Corner-wise, 5 versus 2 fouls. And I like the fouls. Look at the count on the fouls: 16 by Oxford and 6 by Leeds. And it's a really key point. I talk an awful lot about earning the right to play football and going and winning the battle first before you have the right to play football and play the kind of brand of football you want to play. And it always comes down to the duels. And Leeds in some of these more trickier, dirtier kind of games down near the bottom haven't always been at the top of their game when it came to the fight. In the first 5 minutes of the game, Brendan Aronson was getting mashed around the place. Bogle was getting bashed around the place. Solomon was getting bashed around the place. Rodon took 2 big hits from behind in the back for jumping for headers. But they've come through that, and they did win the battle in this game, and they had an awful lot to deal with. The amount of balls put in on top of our goalkeeper, and I don't think I would have been as comfortable or as confident last night had Ilan been in goal, because of those balls that were so direct in on top of the goalkeeper. But they managed to win that battle, stats, and it's been a huge part of it. And then when you look at the attacking stats on top of that, they did more than enough. And it could have been 2 or 3, but again, we'll take the clean sheet and we'll take the 1.
And just going back to the fouls, I was looking back at the records this morning. we've not had a red card this season, which shows the discipline's been absolutely brilliant in Daniel Farker. The last red card, okay, Junior Firpo, I don't think it was actually shown a red card against Millwall. I think it was
No.
shown video evidence. You have to go back 30 seasons for the last time he didn't have a red card, which
Yeah.
is quite incredible. 94-95 was the last time they went through a full season that they didn't get a red card. I'm not going to use that stat just yet because
No.
no,
Hold
but
it.
look, I did speak to Isaac yesterday, pre-Ox again from Leeds Live, and I did sort of send him
Yeah.
that one, but I don't want to use it, but to go back 30 seasons and not have a red card would be quite incredible. That's a record that would just be absolutely brilliant for Leeds if they can do that, and it just shows the discipline has been massive. And I think they had
Yeah.
two. Last year, if I remember right, I think Joe Rodon got a second yellow card against Hull City very harshly, and Ilan Mele was sent off against Preston North End just over Christmas last year or last
Yeah.
season. So discipline has been brilliant, and if you keep 11 players on the pitch, you've got a better chance of winning the game.
Yeah, I agree. Stephen Gale saying, sorry, Jared, but Groove was so poor. 80% of his passing is backwards and sideways and puts his teammates. I disagree completely with you, mate, but you're completely entitled to that opinion. Ilya Groove is a central defensive midfielder. His job is to retain possession of the ball, which means 90% of his passes, 90% should be sideways and backwards. His job is to win the ball when it's in space, win the second balls, and keep the ball
Correct.
ticking over. He's a defensive midfielder. His job is not to do anything forward paced if he can, great, but that's not the minimum of his job. His job is to stop balls coming through the middle of the park, and he does that very
Yes.
well for me. So, but you're entitled to that opinion, mate. I won't fall out with you. I can see where people look at that midfield and want a bit more dynamism from there. But for me, the reason he's in there, especially in those away games, and again, if you look at the amount of goals Leeds concede away from goal home, when Ilya Groove is in that team, it is significantly less than when he's not in that team. So he
Absolutely.
does serve a purpose. He might not be the most spectacular player. For me, he does a job, and
Yes.
that's all we need
Correct.
right now. Yeah, well, let's move on a little bit. Let's talk about Well, the lads are all having a chat there. Let's have a little bit of a chat about some of the performances and two men that stood out specifically. Manor Solomon gets another goal. Really good assist by Jaden Bogle. But a lovely ball from Joe Rodon to get him into the position in the
Yep.
first place. A beautiful pass that splits the defense. We are doing the watch along over on Big Up. And at that moment, I was saying, Willie Nonto is playing way too narrow. He is congesting the area. He's bringing too many players in there. He's practically playing on top of Brendan Aronson. And Leeds need more width in this game
Yes.
to get Oxford to open out a bit more to find those gaps.
Yes.
And then in that moment, Joe Rodon just slices the ball through a gap between a fullback and a centre half for Jaden Bogle to run in behind, which was and a great first time cross from him. And Solomon gets a tap in. But Jaden Bogle started this season coming in from Sheffield United, and he got an incredible amount of stick
He did. He did.
from portions of the fan base about his performances in the first couple of games. And the point that I wanted to make on this is whoever Leeds bring in the summer, I think we need to start just giving them a little bit of time to settle into what this club is. It's a big club, it's
Yeah.
a heavy
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah.
Give them time to settle in because since Jaden Bogle has settled in, he has been a phenomenal player this
Yes,
season
he
for
has.
us. His goal contribution, your statistic that you put out during the day, where he's chasing Kevin Hurd's 8 goals, and
Yep.
last night he looked like he wanted a goal. He was unlucky
Yeah.
not to get one.
Yeah.
But I think just on Bogle himself, mate, what your thoughts on him? Because I think he's been brilliant this season.
I think as supporters, and I don't think it's just a Leeds thing. I think it's a case of the new players come in and they all expect to be like Lionel Messi, and you've got to give players time to adapt. I think his debut against Portsmouth back in August, they conceded 3 goals, and everyone was coming out the end saying, "Well, it was this, that, and the other." You've got to give players the opportunity to bet into a team, and he was coming into a side last year. Obviously, we had Con Roberts, so as the back in the last season, we had Luke Ayling as well. He started in the majority of last season, and I think he's been brilliant. Jaden Bogle has he's been involved a lot of goal involvements. To score 6 goals from right back is brilliant, and it doesn't happen. As I put the stats out last week after the Preston game. So yeah, I think he's been a brilliant top. So I think you look at the recruitment at it, and getting Joe Rodon in permanently was massive. Bogle in from Sheffield United. I think people looked at it that it was part of a Sheffield United side that had got relegated, but the gap, and this is what teams potentially will find over the next 12 months, is the gap between the Premier League and the Championship is a chasm, and I think you do need players to settle. And you look at the recruitment that they've done. Mano's been absolutely brilliant. Tanaka's been one of the fans of the season. So yeah, brilliant, Jaden Bogle. He's a 7 out of 10. most weeks, and last few weeks he's really come into his own, and he deserves all the credit he gets. And the
Mm.
intricacy between Rodon to Bogle to Solomon, absolutely brilliant. The movement for the goal was fantastic last night, and all three players should be praised for that. And yeah, and Bogle's been brilliant for me this season, I think, as they all have. And as you can see with the scores there, that to get regularly 7 out of 10s, you know you're doing something right.
And that yellow card, because it's an algorithm-based scoring system on SofaScore, so that yellow card will take him down in his scoring. So it's
Ah, I
take that
understand.
out of it. It's probably even higher again. It's probably closer to the
Yeah.
8 mark. But yeah, Joe Rodon. Joe Rodon. Let's talk about him a little bit.
Oh,
Just
wow.
I love his passion. I love his
Yeah.
energy. I love what he brings. I love how much this means to him. I go back to the new kit launch this year when Joe Rodon appeared in the purple kit, and the story that went along with that was that he wanted to be in the marketing
Yes.
material for that, but it was
Yes.
being filmed and recorded last Christmas.
That's correct.
Knowing he was on loan and going back to Spurs, he kept telling Leeds, I will be here next season.
Yeah.
I want to be in these. And that's just a level of commitment that I love to see.
Yeah.
For me, he's a pure Leeds player. It's
Yeah.
passion, it's heart. He has the Pontus vibes in terms of
It does a
celebrating
bit.
big
Yeah.
moments,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the Pontus. It's all about me vibe.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he has very much a team kind of
Yeah.
player. And seeing the reaction between him, Ampadu, Darlow, Bogle at the end of the game, hugging each other on the edge of the box and screaming like that, there was just a huge amount of passion there, and I loved seeing that for my players. But in general, outside of that, he builds us up from the back with tempo. He's
Yeah.
progressive with his passes. He doesn't mind going over the halfway line and pushing forward into space. He's been really good at that. As we said, he did overlap Dan James last night and fly off down the wing to try and get a
He did.
cross in, which
He
was
did.
again,
Yeah.
I love when he goes. I'm committed. I'm
Yes.
going. Last year, I think he did the same thing where he passed. He might have been against Coventry. He passed the ball over the halfway line and decided I'm going to keep going and
Yeah.
headed for the box
He did.
to get on the end of a cross. So, but yeah, let's talk about what you've thought of Joe Rodon this year, because again, he had a bit of a shaky enough start to the season, as a lot of the players did. But then once again, he just settled in again, found his momentum, found his rhythm. For me, the word colossal for me has been
Yeah.
the word I keep using this season.
I think there was a little bit of pressure on Joe that he came in, and we've got this thing where you buy loan players, and it's happened in the past where you bought a loan player and it's not quite worked out. And again, that going back to that first game of the season against Portsmouth, and I won't say it was doom and gloom, but it wasn't the greatest defensive performance. But you play a newly promoted side, and you don't quite know what you're going to get. But Rodon for me has been absolutely magnificent, certainly in the last few weeks, if not the last few months. And to get 23 clean sheets, he's not missed a league game all season, and he's played 80 competitive games since his red card against Hull City, which is phenomenal. And he's part of a team that finished third last season on 90 points. That's top of the league this season on 91 points. Conceded 29 goals in 43 games, which is second only to Burnley, and he's brilliant. He's a very selfless player. Is Joe, and again another one that potentially could win Player of the Year on the Sunday, May the 4th. So. Yeah, I can't really say much more. Again, it's been absolutely fantastic, as have all the back four. I think what's been key, we've had that consistent back four that you know what you're going to get week in, week out. And I think having Ethan next to, and I never want to see players get injured, and I hate seeing people celebrate when players get injured. But having Pascal now missing for the rest of the season, having Ethan back in there, I think it just added something. I think Pascal's had a really good season as well as vice captain in the club. So yeah, Rodon, wow, Rolls Royce of a central defender, and the run that he made on the right wing last night was Dan James, get out of the way, was absolutely brilliant, and another player that's just been absolutely tremendous this season, and we'll probably go down in folklore, as will the majority of the squad, or all the squad, if we do get over the line and get presented with that trophy, all being well against of course we can't win the league tomorrow on Monday, but all being well we could potentially win it against Bristol City on Monday night.
We can go a long way to confirm automatic promotion on Monday, though. And I suppose
Yes.
that's the key thing first and foremost. And as Andy is rightly saying here, as we get closer to the finish line, no one is complaining about ugly football, lack of rotation, interaction, last minute substitutions. It's a funny old game because we are winning and it's close. At this stage, it doesn't matter. I'll talk about performances all season until we get to the last third of the season, where it's now the performances are less important and the result becomes far more important. Also, Andy just saying, don't worry, look, lufc usually disagrees with 150% of what I say. The whole point of this channel, what I like to do on this channel is your opinions are valued. Your opinion is your opinion. You're entitled to express it. I'll give you my side of things as well, and we'll move on from it. I'm not here to shout anybody down or tell you what my opinion is more superior than yours. I'm wrong loads of times, and I like being wrong because it usually means Leeds have done better than I thought they'd do. So yeah, but yeah, absolutely no problem, Andy. Delighted to have that. Mental resolve of these players has been brilliant, especially after how last year ended from Anthony. And I completely agree. They were accused of bottling it by certain corners of the online community last year. This year, I don't think we can say that at all. I think they've actually stepped up. And a massive thank you for the super chat from Free Falling. Really appreciate that, mate. But yeah, it's been a tough one. Tough season, but we're starting to look back at it a little bit in hindsight now and maybe appreciate it more than we actually should. But yeah, we are in a really good spot stats. We're top of the table, 91 points as we say, and 2 points off of Bielsa's total from the season he went up. But I will caveat that because everyone's comparing the two seasons. Marcelo Bielsa brought a Leeds United squad up that was valued at 15 million. This Leeds United team is valued at closer to 75 million. They're vastly different jobs that both managers have done, but they're vastly different seasons. Leeds on 93 points went up 10 points clear. That won't happen this year because it's just got tighter and tighter and tighter at the top of the championship. And without having that kind of value of a squad, you're not getting out of this league.
Yeah, and it's difficult, isn't it? Because I feel sometimes Daniel's not quite got the credit that he deserves. And you look at that league table, 26 wins, 13 draws, 4 defeats, 54 goal difference, which is ridiculous, and it's 9 better than Burnley. 83 goals scored, most in the division, 29 conceded, second least in division now to Burnley, who've been absolutely brilliant defensively. So 91 points, potentially get a century of points, which is never been done in the club's history. And I think I put a tweet out this morning of teams that have done 100 points, and it's not many in a 46 game season. It's not easy to do, and that just in an unbelievable position. I've got here Sunderland 105 in 97-98, Fulham in 101 in 2000-2001, Reading 106 in 05-06, Newcastle 102 in 2009-10, Leicester City 102 in 13-14, and Burnley, who actually could create themselves a bit of history to do it twice, got 101 in 22-23. So it's very difficult. So you look, the stats are there, and just for Burnley and Leeds to be that consistent and to lose 6 games between them out of a potential 86 is ridiculous.
And Leicester lost 11 last year, went up as champions.
They did. And it just shows you, I think, this year you've got Leeds, Burnley and Sheffield United have been hammering tonight at each other. It's just been absolutely brilliant. And I think Leeds will beat Stoke on Monday night. I think the crowd will give them a huge lift on Monday afternoon, should I say. And then it's all about what happens at Turf Moor. And I think if Leeds win on Monday, it's job done. I think it's irrespective really what happens. Yes, it'd be nice to have it confirmed on Monday, but they'll then go and do the job against a Bristol City side who are 5th in the league and had a wonderful season under Liam Manning. They're 4 points off in the playoff places, and they'll probably cement those. I don't know who they've got on Easter Monday, but they'll look to cement that place in the top 6. And it'll just be nice to relax and watch the playoffs without Leeds in it, and knowing that Leeds are already in the Premier League next season. And yeah, it's been a brilliant season. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yes, I know sometimes it's not been great reading the comments, and when you're winning 1-0 and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, it's a results business, and the remit set out by the 49ers will be to get into the Premier League, and lo and behold, they're in touching distance, and to use an analogy of 100 metres, they've probably got the last 10 metres to go to get past the finishing line, and once they do that, it'll all be confirmed, and we'll look at next season. But yeah, brilliant, really enjoyed it, been great fun. We're about to get over the line. Enjoy it, because these moments don't come along too often.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking for a comment that came up here about the game. Yeah, if Burnley beat Sheffield United and we beat Stoke, then we and Burnley are up. That is correct.
Yes.
So yeah, it would be what? They're 5 points ahead at the moment, 6, 7, 8 points with 6 to play for. Yeah, it'll be done. So yeah, we can. I can't wait to be at Bristol City. I can't wait.
I should see you there. I'm on commentary for that one, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I'd love to have the opportunity, touch wood, to commentate on a trophy lift, because I think that'd be absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I'm bringing the webcam outside the camera, and I'm bringing the mic, the lapel mics with me as well. So I might try and get some stuff done when I'm there. I don't tend to do that. I tend to, when I go down the road, keep my head down and try and vanish into the background. But it'd be a waste of an occasion. So yeah, stats question from Gavin James there. I think it's a very valid question when we start to move on to talk about the Stoke City game. I'll get that off the screen now. How do you see Burnley Sheffield United going on Monday?
I think Burnley will win. I think they know that they have the potential. If they win that game, they're promoted as well. And I don't think they'll turn their nose up at that opportunity in respect to what happens at Ellen Road. And again, Scott Parker, a bit like Daniel Farke, really, isn't it? That probably hasn't got the credit that he deserves. And again, the test will be in the Premier League next season. But yeah, I just feel that Burnley want to get that job done sooner rather than later and get over the line and have a party in Lancashire.
Yeah, I think just trying to beat them in Turf Moor would be tough for anybody.
Yeah, they've got
again, either a draw is perfect for us as well. If they all draw and we win, but we just do our own job. We'll have a look at the head-to-heads home win. Yeah, it'd be great to see. We'll fly through the last of the bits of pieces in the chat. You want the Sunderland to beat Burnley, but that gives a chance at the title then, doesn't it? You want them to drop points somewhere along the line, but I think a draw for them and a win for us is just as good. But yeah, everyone's kind of saying the same thing. Yeah, let me know score predictions for Monday night for both games. What do you think? Do you think Leeds win against Stoke? Because that's a tricky enough game. And then how do you see Burnley Sheffield United going? It'd be interesting to see what everybody has to think there. But we'll just stick this up on the screen, stats, and let's have a little look ahead to the game against Stoke City. Second last home game of the season. That's where we are comparative in the table. They're down in 16th place in the table. Although their form guide isn't that bad. In the last 5 games, 3 wins and 2 draws. So undefeated in the last 5 matches. 2 wins on the bounce coming into this game as well. So again, not straightforward. Have Leeds done 4 wins in a row this season, stats? Or have they...
I'm sure they have, yeah, because they had a run, didn't they? The start of the season, they just kept winning. I'm sure they have done 4 in a row. Off the top of my head, that's one that I'll need to
have a little look at. Yeah. I know we got close to 3 a couple of times, then we did 2 or 3 times.
We did,
I was wondering with the 4. We look at the head-to-head statistics for the 2 sides. They're not giving me the proper one there. I don't want that version of it. Yeah. That's the odds, betting odds, blah, 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 blah. Not giving me the full breakdown. Okay, not doing that then. Thanks, lads. Who wins?
We did 4 leagues in a row. We beat Cardiff 7, Coventry 2-0, Watford 4-0, Sunderland 2-1, Sheffield United 3-1. So we've done 5 league wins in a row.
So we're looking to beat that now in the final run in to get over the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it makes changes for Monday night stats?
I don't think you can you? You've won the last 3. I think they know how they'll rest. They'll be rested. I think Bamford will probably be involved again on Monday afternoon, and I think the crowd will see us through because I think there'll be such anticipation to get the job done, and I think they will. I just think they will, and I think it'll be enjoyable. Get an early goal that they have done against Preston and get the job done, and then I think it'll be just a bit of a waiting around, a few TVs, a few mobile phone scores this Saturday for Burnley Sheffield United, and job done, and then enjoy it, and then see what Tuesday likes. I think there might be some sore heads for a lot of supporters going into work on Tuesday. But I want both. I want to win the title and I want promotion. So you're just to see Ethan Ampadu lift a trophy after the disappointment of last year in the playoffs. But sometimes you have to have a setback to enjoy the trophy lifts. So yeah, very much looking forward to it.
The highs are never appreciated. We'll go experiencing the lows.
And you've got to. And I did say after the game at Wembley against Southampton that we'll give it a really good go, and I believe we'll go up this season. And lo and behold, it looks like we're going to go. Pardon me, and finish the job.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be shocked to see a couple of little changes. I wouldn't be shocked to see Pat Bamford start that game again, just because Piro's form. He hasn't scored an 8 now, so you might see him come in for that game if he trusts him. Interesting to see what he does with Dan James. It's been mentioned here. DJ come back in, but as also been said by We Are Compost, I hope he gives James a rest. Poor lad can hardly move. He looked a bit stiff coming on last night as well. I think he's trying to mind the hamstrings a little bit and not open the legs too much and bomb forward. But yeah, he's been great for us this season, Dan James, and he has been nominated for the EFL Player of the Year. But he's up against James Trafford and Gus Hamer, so tough enough competition. I think James Trafford's probably a shoe-in for Player of the Year, and then Daniel Farke is up for Manager of the Year against Wilder, Labrie, and Scott Parker as well. So, but that one is usually decided by whoever actually picks up the title at the end of the season. So, but yeah, sorry. Any final things, stats on the game coming up on Monday before we wrap up today?
Get down to Ellen Road because it could be a day to remember on Monday, and Yeah, we're almost there on the cusp of something special on Monday afternoon. If not this Monday, I certainly think it'll be done next Monday. And then let's hope we have a trophy left against Bristol City in a parade that kind of got lost in a way after COVID, didn't it? Because no one knew
It
what
really
quite
did.
to do, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, bring it on. Very much looking forward to it. Get the job done against Stoke, and let's celebrate Monday night.
Yeah, absolutely. Right there with you, mate. And just a final question ask for everybody. There's 315 watching live. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate that. If you could hit the like button on the way out, that would be super useful for us. We're going to wrap it up here and leave it there. Back on Monday for some version of a news or a preview Monday morning, but it'll be small. And then Monday night over on bigup.com, we will have the watch along for Leeds United Stoke, and hopefully a little bit of a promotion celebration after that game as well before we get ready for Bristol City next weekend. I'm going to that game. I can't wait. Cannot wait. But folks, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Leeds have given us something to smile about this weekend. Let's try and enjoy it. And I'll see you on Monday for more Leeds content of some sort. So that's talk to you soon, mate. Thanks very much. See you guys.
Top man.
Bye.